Welcome, brothers. Welcome, sisters. Welcome to our program On Target. As usual, as soon as we start this program, you could pick up your telephone and punch. We're on Real FM 91.9, YouTube, and Facebook pages. So you're welcome to join us. Remember, we never have a subject matter. We speak about anything. Politics, religion, socioeconomic issues, any issue, and you can introduce your own topic. Israel and Hamas and Palestine is at war. Hamas penetrated Israel and slaughtered a number of people and also kidnapped a little more than 100 of them and brought them back into Gaza. And the world is you have quite a lot of mixed feeling and different opinion on the issue. Some people blame Israel, some blame Palestine, and the blame game goes on. While these conflicts are there forever, seems to be there forever with no end in sight. But we in Grenada here could hold a discussion on our encounter with our children. We have an encounter with our children. A child is a gift from God. The circumstances under which you have your child may be unacceptable. You may not ready yet. You may just gone for a fling and you get a child. It might be an accident. But the child is a gift from God. And when you have that child, you must determine. The ball is in your court to determine what happened to that child. Everybody wants development. Everybody wants a better world. But if you want a better world for your child, then there are some things you must do. Don't leave it up to anybody. If you are physically challenged, mentally disabled, or if you're dead, then crap or smoke your pipe. What happened? Your child is like a boat in the ocean without an engine, without an oar, and without piece of sail. They might lucky to fall on fertile ground, or they might end up in rocks and turn over and capsize. And that is what is happening to our children today in our schools. Too much parents, too many of them, are turning their back and walk away. Too many depending on the government. Too many depending on the education system. You have to determine. You have to do everything within your power to ensure that you fix the pitch for your child to bat on. Don't tamper with the ball, but fix the pitch. And parents could do that. If you fix the pitch properly, your child at the age 16 would exit the school system and would be in a good, comfortable position to be competitive on the job market. That is the big challenge we have in Grenada. Our children are not competitive on the job market. And when I speak, I'm not referring to the 15 or 20% people that have it well locked down. Some of them don't want to hear me. They don't want to listen to me. They know that children's future is secured because they're in a position, they have the capacity, they have the passion, they have the education, they have the zeal to fix the pitch for the children, to make certain the children exit school with a good education. And that is one of the things 70% of our people don't have it well locked down. 70% of our people's children are exiting school and they are not prepared to be competitive on the job market. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
How are everything?
Great.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, I support you 100% in what you're saying about parents and society. Mr. Pierre, I do believe every parent she want betterment for the child. Okay? But I want parents also know a child comes into the world by two persons, a man and a woman. And one can bring for the child for herself. Okay? But then after you get a young lady pregnant, yes, something may came up, but you and this young lady no longer together. When that child remains your child as a father, your duty is to still love the child. No matter what going on with what happen with you and the mother of the child is your child. Make sure when the child, you take care of the child, you give the child the money, you send it by, when the child is under age, you buy what you buy and drop it home. When child reach a certain age, and you can come and collect what you have to give him, call him and give him. But when you find some parents, some fathers, even mothers too, that they tell you about the father and the mother together again, they're not together again. So what happened? They punish the child because them and the father or them and the mother not together again. This is wrong. I would say your child always remember a child, but the woman you had a child with will always be your wife or your girlfriend. There comes a time you all might separate, but always remember the child is both of your child. You have to both parents have to take care of the child and see that child get a proper education. So I want to go back even in the government. Every government should want to see an interest of a government that every student in the country that they govern should get a proper education. A proper education by there is some children that unable they don't have the word, the parents don't have the word. But then the less fortunate, the government should make sure that they reach out and help the children. Help them children. Yeah, there's some parents they could afford to buy the school uniform, buy the books, drop them to school. Right? You call it wrongly. They have what it means to send the children to school, buy the uniform. But there's some parents they may have the money to buy the books, but then they still need the money for the uniform and the traveling allowance. So if they are failing, the government duty is to reach out and help them parents. You see, because in everything in life, there's some people that they need, and their need is greater than your need. Right? So the greater one that they need help. So you should also reach out and help them. Those who have already, they could take care of themselves. Right? Take care of themselves. But if you have the money to do it, okay, but you don't have all the money to do it to help everybody. So your priority is to help those who really need the assistance from government. Right? Because whatsoever education a child gets, it's not only benefit the person, it's not only benefit the village where they live in, they benefit the country. They benefit the country. So, Mr. Pierre,
Yes, thank you. Very important contribution. Very important contribution. I tend to want to be extremely practical. In this present environment, we have a government that is hostile towards people in the lower income group, that is hostile to the elderly, to physically challenged and disadvantaged children. This government have found it very comfortable. They're very comfortable in removing assistance to disadvantaged children. And the government use a cover, They say we are paying tuition for everybody now. Clap, jump up. And some people jumping up. And I ask our journalists who have the opportunity to be close to the Minister of Education to ask him how much disadvantaged children you screwed to able to pay tuition for everybody. How much disadvantaged children you screwed to be able to pay tuition fee for everybody. You see, they remove money from disadvantaged children through the social programs so they could pay tuition for the people who could also pay tuition for them children. In the same question, we could ask the Minister of Housing, How many low-income people you intend to screw to make certain that those who could go to the bank and the credit union and the financial institution and get a loan? Why did you have to screw the others? Why did you abandon rent to own or lease to own? Because these people, by the policies of rent to own, they could own a house over a period of time. And you, the government, is not disadvantaged. Why did you screw them? So you could help those who already have access to the financial institution because of the level of permanency, because of the job, because of the quality of the job that they have. The credit unions and the bank will favor them. So this is why I think it is so pertinent at this time for people, and particularly the 70% of the children who have been shafted in school. They have been screwed in school. When you have a percentage that high, it must be of concern to all and sundry. I have no faith in this Minister of Education. None at all. He has been with the status quo for too long. He only able to change nothing in it. He is going to continue to go along. And that's the challenge we have. We could sit down and talk about addressing the problems. But we must start in the school. And that's why I say the parents in our country. And when I speak about parents, the most impactful parent is the woman. Every time you speak about that, they say, well, the man must play a role. Yes, that is true. But a lot of women have children for different men. And 60% of the household in our country is led by women. So it makes no sense we running remote about man when woman leads the household. And even the small percentage of men who funds the household, they have to get veto power from the woman. The woman have veto power. So I put in this challenge straight on women. You, the relationship you have with your child, no man will have this relationship. You carry that child in your belly, in your womb, in your abdomen for about 9 months. And I believe you feel every jump, every movement. So the social bond that you have with your kid is greater than any man could have. Sometimes the man only have a bond because you did. As soon as you're not there, no bond. Some women complain the man only want to give them money when they have access to them. And that tells you the story. So the fastest way to move from poverty is to make certain that your child on exiting school will be competitive on the job market. Don't let nobody fool you. We have a system that prepares to shuffle. We have a government today that is hostile to people in the lower income group. Why do I say that? The government remove money from disadvantaged children. The government remove $150 from the elderly, although they promise them $650. Even physically challenged people cry out, and the government have no feeling. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Pierre, and how
Yes,
are you?
great man.
I have two things I want to speak about
Go right ahead.
towards the government, directly to two ministers. One, the Minister of War, and the other, the Minister of Health. Just coming from St. George's. And my God, hear people complaining, I too complain because my body aches. Having to walk up the steps to go get to the hospital and back down. The Prime Minister flies like a bird. He goes to every country, including the Arab place. And these people, they help when asked for. And I think instead of just signing documents or plane and whatever service you come to Grenada, the dire need, look at the dire need of your country and your people and ask for help in this area. They could build, even with the Chinese, because right now they're enjoying the facilities of the Chinese. So they could do something to ask of the Chinese or any one of the Arab states to give help, to donate or whatever it is, to fund a flyover for getting to the hospital and back from when you drop out in the bus terminal. I'm not an engineer, but just looking at it, I see it in many places where I lived overseas before, and it can be done here also. Just take it from the terminals there. The engineer know how to do that, and let it fall flat up in the road going when you climb up the step, where you have to end up there for the hospital, and it ends there, and it makes it so easy, even for the ambulance, even for any vehicle, people going to the hospital, walk over whatever it is. Do something to alleviate the stress. I hear young people, I see old people, middle-aged people going up and down the step. I was a part of it too. And it's aching, it's hot. And I know with this thing, man, they do something if they want their name go down in the Guinness Book of Records. Do something. And for the Minister of Works, that road, that heavy vehicle travels, every day they traverse that way. So many concrete trucks I see going through that road in New Hampshire, there, Grenville Vale. They're claiming just because they cut the ribbon for the road in Montcuma. Do something now where their name could go down and they could claim for it. Do that road. Fix that road. They could take off the concrete or they want to break it up, whatever it is, and surface that road and make it motorable. Rail kick and Genie, you're going through no up, down, up, down, up, down. You understand? You know many vehicles might be fighting how to buy shocks so regular. Do something, man. Are you just enjoying what was there before the money? Are you squander it already? Are you raising funds? Are you doing all kind of things? Use it in a useful way so that all your name could go down and say, yes, that we have done that. And people could say, yes, they did that. What are you doing now is just enjoying what the other government had done before NNP. Do something now for all your name to call now. This is giant. This is two things. This all don't do nothing else. But fix that road because there's where all heavy vehicle passing and it will break up. It break up. You could imagine when the rain start to fall, when we start to get rain, what will happen? And then a flyover for the hospital.
Yes, scholar. Thank you.
Yeah.
You see, two members of the government, the Prime Minister and another member, they say election have consequences. And they say our people dissolve the government they had. We voted a bunch of political neophytes. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Go right ahead, caller.
Okay, good day. I don't ever hear your voice.
Yes, yeah.
You callers and them talking about flyovers and this and that. Mr. Pierre, the past government had 9.4 years to do it, and they don't do it. So I don't know what you're talking about now.
So, caller, you don't believe that if the past government did not do something, that people should not speak about it now?
But you shouldn't talk about something where you had time to do.
Yeah, but caller, hear the question I'm asking. Caller, hear the question. Caller, hear the question I'm asking.
Listen to me. When the government of Grenada They have 27 years to fix the, the, the school problem. 23 years to fix it, you know.
Caller,
Up to
caller,
this day,
caller,
70% of the children are them on the illiterate. 70% you say, you know. And the government had 22 years to fix it. And they did nothing about it. Mr. Pierre. So why you come and talk about 70% of the children illiterate? Who had the chance to fix it and they don't do it? The NMP. So Mr. Pierre, when you're speaking, you know what you're saying. This
thank you, caller. Yes, thank you. And that is one of the challenges we have in education. You see, the people who are involved in education are the most intelligent people in our country. And normally, people don't want to challenge them. In addition to that, they are very powerful. And academia don't want to challenge academia. And when you ask these questions, people get up and say, well, why are you asking that? You shouldn't ask that. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Yes,
Pierre.
caller, welcome.
And how are you?
Great,
Sorry,
man.
I've got a voice at the moment.
Yeah.
My voice is hurting. But Mr. Pierre, I have to answer that man. He don't know what he's talking about. The best network of road in Grenada, Carriacou and Petit was done by the NMP government. I'm talking to you right now. The road we are living, the main road, the Bellevue Road in Carriacou, when the rain falls, is to make like 3 drains in the road. But when NMP gave us a beautiful network of road, it become the envy of all the Grenadian people. Whenever they come to Carriacou and they see the network of road in Carriacou, they're jealous. They say, what? I look at beautiful road, right? So I don't know what he's talking about.
Yes, caller, is it true? The infrastructure with road in Grenada is principally under Kit Mitchell and the NNP.
Right. So
the NDC doesn't fix no road.
And what NDC had us to do is to better it and do better than before.
And that's what people is asking them to do better. Do what you say you will do.
Exactly. They come in there with a bunch of lies and they cannot achieve what they should be doing, right? All people was walking, road work was going, is what a day work. Right now, NDC cut a road going to the hospital, and how much months now? And they cannot finish it because instead of giving contract, they're giving day work. So when the people come with the work for the day work, they're not achieving nothing. They start it off and they can't finish. But our network of road, when the NMP put their hand on it, they touch it, it is well done. Right now, they good drainage, the water going where it should be going, and we have the road for vehicle and pedestrian. So tell this man when he's talking, behave himself. When he's ready to touch NMP, tell him don't touch NMP. Because NMP is a government of vision. They are visionary government. What they've promised to do, they will do it. And if they can't do it, I love the previous Prime Minister. When he can't do something, he come out and he tell you in a bold assurance, this cannot be done because so and so. He explained himself. But them ones don't believe in a good explanation. They don't believe in honesty. They believe in dishonesty by fooling the Grenadian people. Mr. Pierre, have a wonderful day.
Yes, scholar, but NNP supporters must not be afraid to be challenged. NNP supporters must not be afraid to be touched. What they must learn to do is learn to bring the answers, give justification, give reasons, and neutralize individuals when they propagandize. You mustn't be afraid to challenge. If you have something good, don't be afraid. When somebody take issue with you, listen to them and say, give me justification and rationale. Yes, caller, punch.
Yeah, me again.
Yes, caller.
Sparrow had a song, children go to school and learn.
And learn well.
Otherwise,
like it.
later on,
You go catch real hell.
And this caller was trying to condemn and criticize what I say. Wait and see when NNP come back in power, they're going to do it because they're going to go to the Chinese again and ask for the road, the flyover. The Chinese could do it.
But caller, as you say that,
finish the road, and they go finish the road in Grenville. block it up now and mashing up.
Well, NNP like
These are
road.
viable things. These are important things. You don't talk about nonsense. It's in the bush too long.
But
I
caller,
just prick it and thinking here in the bush. That is what crack up the brain. He
Yeah.
can't say nothing. This guy could never say something that
but you
somebody
see
could
caller.
learn from.
Yeah. But
All
caller.
you criticize. Say something
All
good.
right. Thank you. Yeah.
Right.
But I like when the caller said, children go to school and learn well. Parents, go and get this song from Sparrow and play this song in your house. Children go to school and learn well. Otherwise, later on, you go catch real hell. In yesteryear, parents used to be singing these songs to the children. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Yes, Mr. Welcome.
Mr. Pierre. Grenadians survived Ivan. They survived Emily. They survived the COVID. But Mr. Pierre, NDC is one of the worst disease whatever ever pass in Grenada. Grenadians,
Why do you say that?
because of what they're doing,
What they doing?
NDC,
Yeah.
Mr. Pierre,
When we make a statement like that, we must back it up.
I just listen to you.
Yeah.
And I just listen carefully.
And you see how others advance me arguments on my statement.
Right.
And others dare them to take me on.
Mr. Pierre, all the people they make go.
Yes, over 3,000 people lost their job.
Mr. Pierre, the 150 from the
The 150 from the elderly.
the faith-based people.
The faith-based people that make joke and fun of.
The money.
The money, the touching.
Oh,
The caregivers.
the
The 30
caregivers.
people from Grand Bay Estate.
Oh, God.
And they're sabotaging the source of industry.
And Mr. Pierre, that is the worst.
And then they're taking money from the government coffers.
That is the
And they're
worst.
behaving as if them is a hostess and pilot.
We have a pilot. We haven't got a prime minister.
I agree with you, Mom. That is the worst
We
group of
have
people
a
that
pilot.
leads our country.
If flying was done, I can describe.
And they raise the price of water, electricity, and sugar.
But they give concession on
condoms.
different things.
They give concession on condoms.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then when the past prime minister, capped the gas at $15, we have a minister what say they could give it at 12.
Well, you see, that is
Well,
when
how much
you
is
political neophytes, they don't know better.
How much is it now, Mr.
We
Pierre?
have to forgive them for that because
Forgive?
because they are political neophytes.
Mr. Pierre, these people are the worst that
I'm in full agreement with you. I'm in
on
full
the island
agreement
of
with you.
Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martin.
Yes, thank you.
People suffering under them.
Yes, thank you.
Have a blessed day.
Yes. I agree with her. That is the worst group of leaders we ever had in Grenada. The most insensitive group. The most hostile group against the elderly, the physically challenged, and disadvantaged children. And it's one of the group in Grenada that like to sit down and plan lives. That can be right. Several of the ministers of government involved in selling passport, and they see nothing wrong with that. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre,
Yes, caller,
this
welcome.
government is the worst government of passing Grenada. Mr. Pierre,
And you, scholar, you
this
listen to the...
government never give away $80 million. The former government, the UK government, give them $80 million to work in Grenada. They lose it. No government never lose no money in Grenada. $80 million, you know. That is the worst thing that ever happened in Grenada. For a government to throw away $80 million. The people suffer, the people want things to buy, you go throw $80 million. That is the worst thing that ever happened in Grenada. Stop here, let me tell you something. This past government, they sell give Manhattan $21 million to a man. The man take it and go on spree. No other government never saw in Grenada. That is the worst government ever passed in Grenada. They value the Grenada property. Imagine you get my $21 million and you don't get nothing from it. You know, if you they cut down Manhattan.
You see, one of some of the challenges that we have in our society, we have to face the truth. And we have to be concerned about the future. We must be concerned about the future. The future is important. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre. I want that man to know.
Yes, caller.
Yes,
We can't
yes.
do that. Caller, we can't do that.
Mr. Pierre,
We can't do
who
that.
went in
Caller, we can't do that.
Who went in Barbados?
Caller,
Did the NNP went in Barbados?
caller, we cannot do that.
Yes, we have to.
No, we can't do that, caller.
Mr. Pierre,
Caller. We give people an opportunity to punch. We give people an opportunity to make statements. But you see, this constant back and front is not good. When you make a statement, you justify it, you put your arguments on the table. You see, it's like in the rum shop, caller. You have rules in it too, right? So we understand that. We take your point, we take the caller point, the caller come back and make a rebut, and we leave it there. You know, it is important, and we have to always concentrate on our encounter with our children, because while Israel and Hamas bombing up, while this government behaving like vultures, our children could slip through the crack. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, welcome, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, I have a good friend that she's a member of the support the NDC. And she told me, she said, every time NDC come in power, she says it's my party, but every time they come in power, it's trouble. Yeah.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
And it's sad that the government is not getting it right. Yeah. Some of the things we're speaking about, that is why I could say every time in 1990, in 2008, 2013, and now. And you want them to change their ways. Because in 2008, 2013, the government was selling property to pay current expenditures. It's like you have a home, and think bad, so you sell the television. Next month, you sell the fridge. And one day, your husband sell the gas, and he start to go and bring wood to come. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Yes, my brother.
Sorry, I'm busy. I'm going to happen. How is only you this man does attack?
Caller, we can't do that. Caller, let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
I open up my program
Uh-huh.
for people to call and
Yeah.
punch.
Okay.
And hear me out a while.
Yes.
If you call me first,
Yes.
and the subject matter you discussing, you might see me giving you much more time based upon the subject matter.
Yeah,
We
okay.
want Grenadians to be more tolerant
Okay.
to
Thank
one
you.
another.
Thank
Yeah?
you.
Yeah.
All right. I'm great.
Yes.
I'm ready and get ready to go to a funeral.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, my dear. Have
Yeah.
a blessed week.
You
God
see,
bless.
yeah, we want people to be more tolerant to one another. We want people to be able to sit down and discuss issues. The politics is always hot in Grenada, but we don't want the NDC walking away. You don't want to not accommodate the NDC arguments. I just hunt down those NDC. I hunt down those militant NDC. They're running from me. I said, come, let us talk. Tell me, what is the justification, the economic rationale? You advancing for removing $180, $150 from the elderly, the physically challenged. Why is it you take out $75 or to $100 on disadvantaged children, and you pay tuition, and you want to bamboozle Grenada with that? I just asked an individual, what is the justification and rationale for the people who couldn't go in the bank and government had rent to own, lease to own? Now you send them in the bank because you know they can't go in the bank. Why is it you tell the public there is no need for a parallel service when you know you was telling lies? And I blame two politicians for that. Comrade Dennis Cornwall and Brother Lennox Andrew. Both of them have the academic acumen to be anything in the public service. They could be cabinet sec, minister of finance, or they could even go and run the ECCB. So they know they was telling lies. They were complicit. They endorsed the NDC lies. So I blame two of them. Yes, caller, punch.
Yes, Mr. Pierre. Thank you very much for taking my call this day. You know, almost every day of every year is my birthday, and I would commemorate and whatnot. Today, I'm looking back. I have my prison files in front of me here. No, I am the kind of person who doesn't like to speak much of politics and politicians. A lot of people tell me I should enter the politics arena, but I don't want to be a part of that anyhow. It's not my thing. It's not my desire. And I don't like the idea of criticizing just maybe one or two or three or a government or governments as the case may be. As I have already said it, the entire system since 1951, I wasn't born yet, but I read of it. Okay? And come down, like I said again, all of the prime ministers I've known personally. I've sat with them. Ben Jones. I mean, I don't have to go calling all of those names. One thing I don't like really and truly per se is the idea that we're going to continuously keep, well, campaigning maybe. That's probably the best word, campaigning. Because the truth is, I mean, we have a time for campaigning and it is gone. And the people speak, and as always is said, when the people speak, it's like God speaks. The change that we got, people realize that we needed a change. And so we have a change now. Well, let us please live with the change and try to see how we can attack Grenada. Forget this idea. I mean, you're talking about 150, not just you alone. A lot of people criticizing this government about 150. But I've already said it. The NNP administration under Keith Mitchell, and I had dearly loved this Prime Minister much of it. I mean, I spoke all of that already. I don't think I need to go over all of that. But the fact is, 9.5 years one way, to just a haul up a lull of probably 4 years. And that 4 years, it was all because of if Tillman Thomas had listened to me personally when I went to his office and spoke with him to fix his pipe and whatnot. Probably he would have not been in that position today. But anyway, the fact is, I don't care much about the politicians and what they do. I won't ask them to do anything for me because that's their obligation. So whatever they do, they do. They ride plane, they back. Well, if you talk about plane, I mean, where is our aeroplane? Where is our next plan? You know, we have a lot of different things that we can talk about.
But we can't talk about everything one time.
And I am suffering yesterday.
Caller, just let me ask you one question.
Go ahead.
Are you supporting the government removal of the $150 from the elderly? Caller, just call back and you could answer that if you want to. It's important to find out for the government under Dick Mitchell to give us economic justification why you remove $150. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Just before I left Grenada in 2003, at the end of 2002, in December, I wrote an article published on the Grenadian Voice that was captioned, NDC is contaminated, warning Grenadians, please do not let these guys come into power in this country because it will have devastation. Grenada economy, along with Barbados economy, was growing leaps and bounds, the two best performing economies in the Caribbean area during that time. Between 2001, especially 2008, NDC came back into power in this country. Devastation, a storm, a hurricane, an earthquake, everything combined, end up happening to Grenada and Grenada economy. The economy dropped to even 0.5 degrees under zero. Put it that way. Mr. Pierre, it took a Herculean task by Keith Mitchell in 2013 to revive this country's economy again. I keep hearing this 23 years. Grenada had to start all over again in 2013. Plain and simple. And people need to get that perspective. Grenada had to start all over again after the devastation of NDC in 2008, 2012, 13. So that what happened between that time for the past 9.5 years, look at the turnaround in Grenada economy. Look at what happened under Kit Mitchell and Bowen and the other ministers between 2013 and 2022. We now come back again and a host of devastation start happening. Even in the budget that was presented by the Prime Minister, this present Prime Minister, the first budget, 3 point something percent, 6 point something, sorry, from a 5 percent in the previous budget, confirmed by IMF, the World Bank, CBN, and other top lending in the world. It was given to Kit Mitchell and the administration. Economy. Very Prime Minister who paid out $75 million in gratuity back pay. As people thinking is the back pay the pension that is being paid out. No, it's not the pension. They pay the gratuity of the pension. Fine. But that was money that was net. What's the big deal about them? Like the government did so much when it comes to that? None. Nothing, you might say. They did what they're supposed to do, which was going to be done anyway. But the thing about it is that if we lose sight of the fact that that government has been derailing from the inception of the budget presentation, the economic growth that we had of 5 point whatever percent to a downgrade of 3 point whatever, confirmed by the IMF and everybody too. So that tells you, right in the budget itself, like the Prime Minister say in the end, ban your belly. And you come talking about Grenada is in a better state now,
Yeah, and I like
complaining about 20 years of, I mean, what kind of nonsense?
his own minister said irreparable damage.
They understand that very well.
Yeah.
Take care, Mr.
Yes. And that is why we speak. Because the NDC policy is going to cause high unemployment, social decadence, and it's going to devastate people in the lower income group. The National Democratic Congress comes into power, and the first salvo of attack is on the marginalized. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, afternoon.
Yeah, go right.
I like to say on the pension issue. Haven't you recognized that the government said that they have a committee to organize the pension issue? If the pension has been paid, then why do you need a committee to organize for the payment of the pension? I like that explanation, please, if you could.
Wow.
But somebody just might,
Yeah.
because the government has organized a committee to organize because they realize that the pension as is, and not only the pension, the regularization of those civil servants, if it goes ahead like they had said in the campaign,
Irreparable damage.
Irreparable damage.
Irreparable damage.
It called irreparable, and they know that they recognize. In fact, let me tell you something. During the campaign, that fella Toes, he passed by me, and he asked me to support him. And I said, I cannot support you because I said, you're lying. That time I didn't know they could lie so much yet. Huh? That was before the election. I did not know that
You didn't know they have a degree in planning lies.
I did not know that yet. You didn't tell me that yet.
I've studied them, I know.
It's till after you let me know that. I said to him, you talk about manufacturing. I said, we don't have enough fruits to manufacture to run a factory. He said, we know that, but we're talking about small factories. I said, you think about building houses all over the island. I said, you know that's going to happen.
500
and what else? Man, this thing's so blatant. You know, they're so blatant. And I speak about even the same issue that you spoke about just now. Yeah? When they took over the monies from the elderly wouldn't go out and protest. Those monies was meant to regularize to those civil servants that they're going to hire now. And in fact, the program that you had with the Imanis, when I don't remember the name you call it, but when some of the teachers and civil servants would have reached their retirement age, then we took off from, it's like a bank you had there,
Yeah.
Imanis, where they will be fitting in.
They shaft them.
And yes, and right now, this is what this government is doing. and they say they're regularizing. They're not damn really regularizing. They're doing what was supposed to be done, and NNP was doing it.
The government is
So
behaving like
why?
a bully. They shaft the
Ah.
weak and the marginalized. And they
Yeah, man, but we have
facilitating
enough
the debt.
sense. We have enough sense to recognize what they're doing, because they're not regularizing nothing. They're taking in those people that they're firing now. Right? Those that they're firing now. We taking from the Imani to fit in. We can't take all one time, they say. We can't take all one time, because if you take all one time, it will cause problem.
Irreparable
So
damage.
we'll fit. Yes, so we're taking some by some. This
Yeah.
is what they're doing now. So
Yeah.
those folks that you hear, they fire me. They don't already fire me. They're regularizing.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing right now.
Yes,
Thank you.
scholar, thank you. And you see, I speak about policies. Yes, scholar, welcome. We lost the caller. Yes, scholar, punch. Yes, scholar. Are we lost the caller? Caller, you there?
Yes, Mr. Pierre.
Go right ahead.
Afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, scholar.
All without sin cast the first stone. This Mr. always done on the government long time before. Why don't check on what's going on now? We have to check on what's going on now. Kit Mitchell is no more there. Everything is a Kit Mitchell, a Kit Mitchell, a Kit Mitchell. Why is Kit Mitchell alone?
Kit Mitchell is a very strong, powerful individual.
I grew up with his gun aunt, and since I know him, he's a very strong man.
So you must not be angry with NDC for attacking Kit Mitchell. Because Kit Mitchell is the only leader in the Commonwealth that win all the seats on one occasion.
Yes, 3 times.
Yes, so don't angry with
Kit Mitchell. He's a great man. He's
Yeah,
a great man after God.
He's one of our heroes. Yeah.
You take care, Mr. Pierre.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You see, the government have to understand. Politicians in a democracy is about representation. So when you're in a constituency, people come to represent your interests. You're supposed to benefit because you choose your representative. Yes, call a punch. Call a
Yes,
punch.
Mr. Pierre. One, yes, the committee that was set up is the same committee, same idea of the committee that Kit Mitchell had proposed to deal with the pension issue.
And they cried out.
Let me ask you a question. Who sell their own property to acquire something or to get something?
To pay
Who are the people who really does that in society? Those Drake and them. That's what Drake did.
Well, I tell
That's
you,
what those Drake and Coke do.
In 2008,
So here we have
Kennedy on Cook.
the Chinese give us some brand new houses. The only thing that the government could think of is selling it.
Yeah.
That's how big behave. The previous NDC administration sell property that was
13 pieces of property they sell.
Didn't belong to them.
Yeah. Drake.
Who does this thing?
Drake.
Drakes. Cocaine Drake that does this type of thing.
Yeah. Coke.
Simple. That's the kind of the quality of the people we're dealing with. Frankly, I have no apology to make sure. But
No scruple.
That's the mentality
That's
of the people.
vultures.
Take care.
Yes, scholar. You see, a government, when you are in a democracy, you have candidates that go to represent people. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
This NDC government will make us get vexed again.
You don't need to get vexed. You need to understand.
Because they're doing things for us to get vexed.
Yes, but you want.
They're doing things for us to get vexed.
But
And when you
people
get vexed,
need to understand the policy of the government. If you understand the policy of NDC, you don't have no problem.
Mr. Pierre, when you hear we get vexed this time,
What you need to do is to learn to make your X. You have power in X. In a democratic process, you have your power in your X. Learn to value your X and don't let nobody squander it.
Mr. Pierre, we can't wait for X.
Yes,
sometimes we can't wait for X.
No, that is what.
You making us get vexed.
That is why people have to make decision from informed.
This time when we turn back, that go in the supply, you know.
All right, okay.
All right.
Yes. You see, that is why we have to make decision from informed position. People have to understand that you have political parties, but sometimes the political parties are slightly different. They might be different in their foreign policy. Sometimes one of them are more inclined to the United States of America and Europe. One of them might be more inclined to Russia and China. Some might be taking a moderate position and put their country's interests first. So they learn to demele between the foreign policy. But there are others who is hostile to people in the lower income group. So if you are in the lower income group in Grenada, you have to know which party is hostile to people in the lower income group. How you know that? Well, by the history, the actions, the utterances, and the statement they make. If every chance the party get, they calling you old name, dismissive name, eat a food people, greedy and needy, nasty people, classless people. Well, think now. As soon as the government come in power, they raise the price of sugar. Who does it affect most? Some people could buy a bottle of honey. Some people, when they go in the supermarket, they don't ask price. They sign a check. But some people go and buy a pound of sugar every morning because they have to give the child heart attack. Heart attack they're giving the child in the morning. They can't buy milk to put in it. And even if they buy milk because the child is not drinking the hot water, they say just cola it here to last. Don't waste the milk. A lot of children get lashed in the house, serious lashing, for drinking the baby milk. So we have to understand, if you have a government that historically is hostile to people in the lower income group, all kind of economic, intellectual justification they give in for the bad behavior. Yes, scholar, welcome, and use the last scholars of punch.
Mr. Pierre?
Yes, punch.
This housing thing, I find it difficult to tell people that MP did sell the house for these people. You could kind of rent to this or what. They sell it because you have to pay to pay. And those people, they don't pay. So what do you want the people to do? When you owe money and you don't pay, you have to take it back from them. Once you don't decide to pay. Once you're paying, you have it. Mr. Pierre, these people and them, they just decide anything go make them, anything go make serve them, they don't pay.
Yes, caller, go ahead. You finish?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, caller. And caller, there is some truth in what you said. That sometimes people believe it's government and they don't pay. The United States of America, 11% of the people living in poverty. 11%, over 30-something million people in America living on the street. We have Grenadians in America in the poorhouse, living on the street, living on food stamp, lining up in long line to get health care. So government go to the United Nations and they agree to have a financial obligation to the people in the lower income group. That is why I call NDC vultures. That's why I call 9 of them, 9 vultures. They're trying to use intellectual justification to screw the people in the lower income group. That is why they raise the price of sugar. That is why they put tax on water. That is why they remove $150 from the people. It makes me mad. It makes me angry because they lied to the people. In 2008, 2013, they use an elderly man. I believe he is from St. Patrick's. They use an elderly man to advertise the lies. How could you do that? There is a group of people without scruple. And some NNP provoke the man in the veranda. You get it. You get the money they promise. The man afraid to stay in the veranda, he dead. When they done in 2022, again they promised 650. They use the World Bank to back up the promise. They chastise the previous government of not having love, and then they remove $150 side. And then they choose restorative justice. The Prime Minister of Grenada said, we campaign on transformation, but it's not so much transformation. It is more restorative justice. Now, where you get these people on it? Now, how could we support this bad-minded attitude? How could we? I don't know how Mr. Thomas could have called that thing rebalancing. I don't know how St. Jude could have said it's realignment. You take money from women. You take the job from people who was working 6, 7, 8, 19 years. The people making under $2,000 a month. That is the people you promise. With the stroke of a pen, they go make appointed. That is the people you even break the covenant that the financial institution have with temporary permanent workers. And this is the end of our day. That's what happened when time moving past. We're back with you on Monday for another program. And then we will speak about Maurice Bishop. Thank you very much.